Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, anytime you're seeing this video. Welcome back to my channel, Biomastery with Master K. In today's class, I want to take us into GCE Alternative to Practical Biology. Biology GCE Alternative to Practical. What is the meaning of alternative? Alternative simply means they will give you the actual specimen, but you will be given a diagram or something related to it, just to improvise for excuse me, the actual diagram. You get what I'm saying? Therefore, in GCE, there is no actual practical. If you have to work with a fruit, you will not see an actual fruit. If you have to work with animal, you will not see an actual animal. The only thing you're going to be seeing is the picture or the image of such animals. Some parameters to be given to you, you can work with. So I have here with me this alternative to practical to get you prepared for this 2025 biology practical, alternative to practical in biology. So please come with me as I start from this point. Now, the very first question, you can see there is an image here, or let me say a diagram has been presented to us. We need to know what this diagram looks like. To you, as you're watching the video, you'll be like, this diagram, this is a lizard now. Yeah, I know, it's a lizard. Instead of them giving us the actual image of a lizard or telling us to come with a lizard, what do they give us? They give us just the image or the diagram of a lizard. It was labeled out, but they were not named. You see that now? So we have to give all those points the accurate organ of the name of the organ. Are we ready now? So let's dive into the video. The very first question, number 1AI, here, says, identify the organism in the diagram. Identify the organism in the diagram. So we cannot just jump all of a sudden and say this is a female or a male. We can just call it a gamma lizard. Are you following me? So we call it a gamma lizard. Now, the next is name the part labeled I to the eye. The eye is what? The eye. The II is the tympanium, or we call it tympanium. Do we see that? That is for hearing. Why this? You can see that is scale. The scale. I think this arrow is double pointed. Call it scale, but because it is one scale. The next one is the IV. Let me label IVV and VI. The IV is the four-limbed. The next one is V, that is the end limb, and the last one is tail. Of course, that is the tail. Do we get that now? Very easy to understand. Now let's move to the next one. The next question says, that is number 1BI. Name, the next question is 1BI. Say, name the habitat of the organism. What is the habitat of this organism? Of course, they stay on land. And they are even the first set of organisms to exhibit complete terrestrial habitat. So we call this their habitat is terrestrial habitat. You didn't get that now? Some will say terrestrial. No, it's wrong. As I will say it in biology, it's not terrestrial, it's terrestrial habitat. The next is take 3 observable features that adapt the organism to its habitat. Now, it's very funny. Some of you will be saying presence of lungs for respiration. Some will say presence of ovary for laying of eggs. Did you see the ovary? No. Did you see their lungs? No. The only thing is observable, meaning things you can see. Did you get that now? You don't need to go to the internal part because that is not what they asked you to do. You didn't dissect them yourself. They were given to you like that. So you have to follow suit. So this organism here now is not dissected. So what you see with your eye is what you are working with. Number 1, they have eye. Do we get that now? Presence of eye for what? Sight. Presence of eye for sight. The next one is presence of tympanium, or you call it tympanium, presence of tympanium. for hearing or to detect sound. Anyone would like to put for hearing or to detect sound. The next one is presence of limbs. Presence of limbs for walking. Presence of limbs for walking. So we have other things there, like presence of what? Scale. Presence of scale to avoid, or for them to avoid excess evaporation of water from their skin, and also to avoid desiccation. Did you get that now? Desiccation, yeah. What's the meaning of that? Excess of water being lost from their body. Did you get? So that is for the presence of the scale. So we successfully answer this. Now let's go to the next one. 1B. State one behavioral adaptation of the organism to its habitat. The behavioral adaptation simply means it is don't mistake them for each other. This is observable that make them to adapt. This one says behavioral. How do they behave? Are you following me? How they behave that make them adapt to the habitat. And that is called basking. What is the meaning of basking? Basking, you cannot put comma, that is they dwell or stay in the sun to heat up the body because they are cold blooded. Yeah, you get that? Basking, that is, they dwell or stay in the sun to heat up the body because they are cold blooded. Some call them poikilothermic, but to avoid excess grammar, you get that now. Just keep it simple, short, and precise. You don't need excessive grammar. But biology needs time to be there. But in this, you don't really need time. Basking there is just for them to they stay in the sun, to heat up the body. If you see any lizard, you see that they like to stay at a place that is hot so that they're able to heat up their body system because they are cold-blooded. And cold-blooded animals are referred to as poikilothermic organisms. Poikilothermic organisms. Now, what is the likely sex of the organism? In this diagram now, they never tell us or write it below. Maybe it is a male agama lizard or female agama lizard. And that's the reason the way we put our answer here in number one, that agama lizard, just agama lizard. You don't need to put maybe a male or female. That is just the only thing you ask. Now we have been asked here now that what is the likely sex of the organism? And if you look at it, this organism as a whole here is not a male agama lizard. This is a female agama lizard. The next question we ask us about it. But let's first of all do this. This is just a female. Okay, just say female. You don't need to say female agama lizard. Just say what is the likely sex? Female. After the agama is just the next super story. Female. Now the next says give two reasons for the answer in 1C. Now our answer in 1C. Why do we say it is female? It is female because if you study this diagram very well, the male lizard will have something at the top here. Something here. This is not colored. And if it is colored, you can also say because they are red, they are this, they will be male. To check the male, they have something here. It is called nuchal crest. Nuchal crest. And there is always something here. It's very broad to widen up their buccal cavity. It is called gular fold. Gular fold. So with this is present and this is present, we can also refer it that it is what? A male. But because they are absent, it is what? Female. So let's write absence of nuchal crest and also absence of gular fold. Yeah, correct. The next, name the class to which the organism belongs. We have different forms of class. We have different forms of phylum. This is kingdom Animalia, phylum, and so on, and Reptilia. But their class, class Reptilia, phylum Reptile, and their class is the class Name the class. Yeah, class. Under classification of living things, we have, I've said that before in my previous video. You can go back and go and watch classification of living things. Can watch classification of living things. Another classification of living things, I give us an acronym: keep, place, clean, or family get sick. KPCOFGS. This case kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So they ask us for the class, and it is class. You write like this: class colon reptilia. Class reptilia. So that is for that class reptilia. The next says, give one reason for the answer in 1BR. Why are they class reptilia? There are many reasons anyway, but the only actual reason we can have is that because they are scaled organisms. The word reptilia, yeah, reptilia, scaled organisms. Give one reason for the answer. We can say due to, or let's say the presence of scale. Do we get that? Now the next one, name three other members of class in 1BR. Three other members of class reptilia, of course. Snake. After the snake, we have the crocodile. After the crocodiles, we have the gecko. Geckos, or let's put tortoise. Either geckos or tortoise. Yeah, geckos, tortoise, iguana, and so on and so forth. They all belong to the class of reptilia. And so what is the mode of feeding in the organism? You have two different basic form of mode. You have autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of feeding. So these ones, they feed directly on the organism, so they are heterotrophs. Or you say heterotrophic mode of feeding. Do we get? So this is just number one of the question. Let's move to number two. There we go. This is number two of the question. It says the diagram below is this diagram are illustrations of experimental setup labeled A, B, C, and D used to investigate a biological process. Study them and answer questions 2A and 2B. Let's check the diagram. They said we should study them. So let's study. The first one is A. These are test tubes. While the last one is having a beaker with some things in it. I will explain when I get there. These are seeds. Of course, you can see look like bean seeds. Seed. And here they label it out as dry cotton wool. Dry. Take note. Want to investigate germination. Therefore, in the dry cotton wool, the condition necessary for germination to take place is temperature should be there, air, water, warmth. Did you get that now? But because it is dry, so germination may not occur. This one is having seed, of course, same seed, but the cotton wool are wet, meaning moisture is present or water is present. This one, the seed, is having seal of oil at the surface. Oil will never allow the penetration of air or oxygen to penetrate into this boiled and cooled water, though the water has been boiled and it is cooled though, but yes, germination will not occur as a result of obstruction of air into this process or the test tube. The next, we have in viable seed, of course, viable seed, wet cotton wool, but here it is immersed, or let me say it deep into ice cube, which the temperature is extremely low, therefore germination cannot occur. So let's listen to the question. They said, state the aim of the experiment. What is the aim of the experiment? Let's get the aim of the experiment. The diagram below illustrates. The diagram below are illustration of experimental setup labeled. Now, labeled one to this. Now, used to investigate. Now, if you want to write, you will now write to make use of their English. Investigate. All these are conditions to investigate the conditions necessary for germination to occur. To investigate the condition was necessary for germination to what? To occur. So germination will occur, all these are the conditions. So the aim of this experiment is what we have to write out, and we've successfully done it. Did you get it? Let's dive on. The next says, complete the table below using setup A, B, C, and D. Now, this is a setup of A, of B, C, and D. Now, we want to answer everything here with all these images, all these diagrams. And let's quickly do that. The first one says, the setup A, B, C, D, observation, reasons for observation, and conclusion. The first one is A. What did we observe in A? What do we observe? What's our observation? What we observe there is dry, but we see. So what we put there is germination. Germination cannot occur. Now, what is the reason? The reason is the absence of water, the absence of water, though there is air, but water is needed. Or okay, let's say water or moisture is needed for germination. You can see because it is dry, there's no water here. Did you get that? What we observe is germination cannot occur. Did you get it? You can say because it is dry. But this place, our reason is water or moisture is needed for germination. Conclusion. So what's going to be our conclusion? Germination, the condition necessary for germination is not present. That's the conclusion. The next one, B. What is B? What do we observe in B? We observe that 1, the cotton is moist, there is airspace, and of course, the environment is okay. Do we get that now? Therefore, we can say observation, germination will occur. Do we get that now? Reasons: air, water, you can say temperature, and light are present. We get that now. Now, the next is air, water, temperature, and light are present. Now, what is our conclusion? The conclusion is germination will occur because every necessary condition for germination is what? Present. Do we get that now? Conclusion: necessary conditions for germination are present. Yeah, necessary conditions for germination are present. The next, C. We have oil at the surface, which I said earlier, it has obstructed the passage of air. So what would we discuss? What do we discover? Our observation is germination is impossible. Germination is impossible. That is not possible at all. Now, why? Air is absent. Hair is absent. While the next one, condition necessary for germination is not there. Or let's put it this way, oil, conclusion, oil will not allow the passage of hair to promote germination. The next one, D, you can see we have viable seed, we have wet cotton, but it is being immersed into ice cube. Being immersed into ice cube. What do we observe from here? What do we observe? We also observe that germination is not possible. Just a germination will not occur as well. Will not occur. Why is this? Why won't it occur? Required, can say required conditions for germination are not present. Why this one? What are we going to put here? What our conclusion to say extremely low temperature, extremely low temperature will not allow the seed to germinate. Now, the next question, outline the process of germination in a cowpea seedling. If we are to outline the process, we say if all necessary conditions for germination are present, such as air, water, warmth, or temperature, anyone you want to call it, air, water, warmth, temperature, and light. If unnecessary conditions for germination are present, such as air, water, and warmth, cowpea seedling will germinate where the hypocoty push out the cotyledon to the soil surface. This is enough. You don't need excess super story. You don't need to start writing blah blah blah. You just need it to be short and precise. The next one says name the type of germination that could be observed in cowpea. The type of germination that cowpea undergo or that could be observed is epigeel germination. Epigeel germination. And the next question, 2DI, give one reason for the answer in 2D. Why do we say it is epigeel germination? Number one, if you observe cowpea seedling, you discover they undergo epigeel germination this way. The cotyledon is pushed above, the cotyledon is pushed, let's say, out of the soil surface. Yeah, the cotyledon is pushed out of the soil surface. And the next one is cowpea. Cowpea is a dicotyledonous seed. Cowpea is a dicotyledonous seed. The next one says, name two food substance present in cowpea. What's the meaning of food substance? The food material we derive to feed cowpea. What are the food substances your body system tends to derive from it? That is, of course, cowpea from your primary secondary school, under classes of food, they refer them as protein. So cowpea contains protein, and of course, they have carbohydrates too. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Now the next one says, list the three parts of the germinating cowpea seedling or cowpea. If a cowpea will be germinating, what are the three parts you will see? One, you are going to see, you will be seeing the cotyledon, number one. Let's say cotyledon. Cotyledon is that two beans that be at the left and at the right. You will also be seeing the hypocotyle or the hypocotyle, and you will be seeing the next one again. Which other thing you will see? You will see the epicotyle. Hypo means below the cotyledon. We get that now. Epi means above the cotyledon. So the material above is in the germination part is the epicotyle. The one below it is the hypocotyle for the cotyledon. So we have to also pick the word epicotyle. The epicotyle. So it's not hard at all. If you basically look at all this, they have been successfully answered. So you don't need to be skeptic. Just look into it, calm down, and answer your questions. Let's get straight into number 3. All right, the next question is this. This is number 3. This is the diagram, and so use the diagram to answer question 3A to 3E. It says, name the habitat. Now, if you study this habitat very well, you study this diagram very well, you discover that this is fish, and of course, where does fish stay? In water, right? We don't know maybe it is fresh or salty or it is estuarine or brackish. We only see the image looking like that of a pond. What if it is being just shot, or let me say being drawn in this form? What if it is salty or it is marine? So we don't know. So instead of it just to put yourself in trouble, don't do that. Just say it is, name the habitat, just like aquatic habitat. Simple. Aquatic habitat. As simple as that. The next one says, name the trophic level occupied by each of the organisms. You know, trophic level is can also be referred to as like energy level. Now, the I, this is I here, they are the plants, and they are what? Primary producers. We call them producers, but I prefer to put them as primary producers. They are producers of food in the ecosystem. While the I can see this I, we can refer to them as the zooplanktons. Yeah, the zooplankton, those ones that feed on the aquatic plant, or let me say, yeah, you can call them the zooplankton, and they are primary consumer. While the these are fishes, as you can see, they are secondary consumers. Instead of just say consumer, no, put their level. They say trophic level. Let the level be there, or energy level. The next one is the IV. This will be the tertiary what consumer. Are you with me? If you are enjoying this video so far, please just give it a like. If you have any question, please in the comment section below, and please do well to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, like this video. It will really help the YouTube algorithm as well. And also give this video a thumbs up. Put your question below in the comment section. Any question at all, and whichever video you want me to make next, put it there. Please make video on this the particular topic you did not understand in biology, and I'll do that. Let's proceed. The next one is construct a food chain using the organism labeled in the diagram. A food chain is a food chain. Food chain is a series of flow of energy in an ecosystem. The very first thing that will be in the food chain is the plant. If these guys are not present, the ecosystem will have problems because they're the primary supply of food. You will get that now. So the first one that will be there is I. You can either put it there as plant. You will get that now. But because their names were not requested, you can just say, or required, you can just say I towards I. I think the way they are being arranged is orderly arranged towards I. This will feed on this. You can see the mouth. You can see the way they move. Very simple. I. and at times may be scattered. Why this is what IV. Why that of I we say they are plants, these ones they are the plantings, these ones are fishes, why these are what? The big fishes. Do you get that now? So even if you leave the answer like this, you're still correct. The next one is what is the role of the sun? Because this is the sun in the habitat. What's the role of the sun in the habitat? Let's say the role of the sun, the role of the sun, let's just say the role of the sun are one, the sun is the primary supplier of energy, or let me say primary producer. Let's say primary producer of energy. These ones are primary producer of food. Did you get that now? You can now bracket in bracket solar energy. You can put another one. The sun gives, or you just say it gives temperature to the habitat. The next question says, if the organism labeled I are absent, what would be the effect on the habitat? If these guys are absent, what will be the effect on the habitat if they are absent? Number one, there won't be flow, of energy. That is one. Two, food supply, food supply. You know, I said they are primary producers of food. Food supply will not occur if they, because what do they do? The photosynthesize. You can also include it in this case that they help the plant photosynthesize. They give temperature, it's also part of it. So you can add more as you wish. The next one, name two biotic components of the habitat. Two biotic components simply means two living components in this habitat. Do we get? We see what? Fish, and we also see what? Plants. They're living. Just put it there. Plant and what? Species. The other one says name two abiotic components of the habitat. Abiotic components of the habitat, the abiotic components of the habitat, temperature, temperature is an abiotic component. Which other one again is an abiotic component? Water, yeah, water. Water. Of course, species will not stay on the ground. Water is an abiotic component. Biotic simply means the component that have life. Abiotic, they do not have life. Did you get that? The next one. Name the mode of nutrition of each of the organism. How do they feed? Number one, I told you before they are plants. How do they feed? They photosynthesize, right? Therefore, they are autotrophs. Just put it there. Autotrophs. Autotroph, or you say autotrophic, anyone you want to put. Number two, the II there, these should be holozoic. Holo, holozoic, that is different. Why the other one too should be holozoic? Holozoic. Why this? I can't call this, it cannot be holozoic, but I prefer to use another name for it, which is carnivore. Carnivores. Why? This is feeding on this. You can see these are small fishes and these are what? The big fish. Just let's assume sharks, so like remora or tilapia, you know, they will easily feed on them. So we can call them what? Carnivores as well. Are you getting that? Now the next one is state two adaptive features of organisms labeled as to their mode of life in the habitat. What are the adaptive features? Number one, you can see they dwell in what? In water. You can say presence of presence presence of green leaf green leaf to photosynthesize, to photosynthesize. Another one again is they have breathing root because they are in water, and the breathing root is pneumatophore. They have breathing root. Any other thing you can also add more and more and more because of the space I'm having on the board. Do we get that? The next one is what is the part labeled V? Let's show them what is this part labeled V. This is the base of the habitat. Have you been this is what is it called? If this is freshwater habitat or it is saltwater habitat, very broad. They did not categorize. Maybe it is salt or fresh because this is just given to us. We have plants in salt water too. We have animals in them and so on. Do we understand? But we can categorically say therefore, at this place, we can either call it one of the zones, benthic zone. Is that benthic zone? We have benthic zone, we have aquatic zone, we have euphotic zone, we have littoral zone, and diverse zone. But because this is at the bed of this particular diagram here, can refer it to as maybe the debris. This point can be referred to as humus or debris. So let's put it there, humus or debris. Humus or debris. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you're enjoying this video so far, as I've said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Any form of question at all you have, or you want me to make video on any topic you don't understand in biology, put it in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you and goodbye.